no secret that Arizona ranks very low in education, from teacher pay to funding to test scores. And tonight, the I-Team is trying to find out why.
That's right. The I-Team found that all major school districts in Maricopa County struggle with kids who aren't reading or doing math at grade level. The I-Team's reporter Erica Stapleton has been digging into this data. And Erica, do we know what exactly is causing this to happen?
Well, Mark Kriebe, we found that this is actually a really polarizing topic, and it makes it hard to pinpoint exactly what leads to these scores.
When she first moved to Arizona a few years ago,
so we were used to like a 20-to-1 ratio, where here there's closer to 30, sometimes over 30 kids with one teacher.
Nicole Ferruta was well aware of the reputation.
Low test scores, rankings of schools.
Year after year, Arizona ranks among the lowest of states in education, teacher pay, student spending, and test scores.
Things need to change, and our kids deserve a better future.
The I-Team wanted to get a better understanding of why this is, so we started with the data. For this story, we focused on the largest school districts in Maricopa County, who had at least 1,000 kids take 4th or 8th grade reading or math assessments last year. Our analysis found that in 2024, more than half of students in each district were not proficient in at least one of those categories. And the elephant in the classroom: we can't compare these scores to private schools because they aren't required to take state testing or submit scores.
I feel like the way that they're teaching it might hinder their proficiency level.
Nicole is a mom of 2, with one child in 4th grade in the Peoria School District and another child in 7th grade at a charter school. She said both her kids excel in reading, but math is another story.
Both of them have struggled in math. I don't understand why they transition from one lesson to the next without having the child master the first lesson. I'm not an educator, I don't know, but I feel like it's doing a disservice to the child.
The I-Team put out an informal survey asking why some students may be below grade level in reading and math. We heard from nearly 80 parents and educators. Not everyone was worried, but some blamed COVID, increased screen time, lack of parent involvement, growing classroom sizes, kids missing school, kids leaving for private schools, behavioral problems, and of course,
not every child is going to learn the same way. We may need to introduce concepts that are child-specific, not classroom-specific. But I don't think that there's funding for that.
The F word, funding.
We know that Arizona is the worst in the nation. We get the worst financial support from the state.
Deer Valley Unified School District Superintendent Dr. Curtis Finch.
We are number 50, and so we are paying the consequences for that.
That sucks to hear. Sorry to be blunt, but like that that's a hard statistic to live with. Do you do anything to try and change that?
Deer Valley has a long reputation of winning everything. And it's not because we have money coming out our ears. No, we have dedicated people that see the purpose of why we're doing it. That's why students come here. That's why staff come here.
For him, education has to be more than money and more than test scores.
These tests are all progress tests, not proficiency tests. You just haven't learned it yet.
And how do you ensure that the students who maybe aren't hitting that benchmark in the moment are getting the help that they need?
Your bigger districts have these data tools that you can actually drill down to the student. We know where he or she is struggling and how we can adapt.
Some who took our survey said students aren't getting that individualized help in their districts.
What would you say to the parents who say, my kids are still struggling?
Probably the best answer would be it's a team. How much are you reading to your kid at home? Your school can only do so much to help each student.
Another issue, he said, school vouchers, particularly when kids leave and come back to the district.
Now they're behind. It's my job to use more resources to bring them back up to speed with the state standards.
ESA is not the problem. The problem is the skills of the teachers and the teacher leaders.
Arizona Superintendent of Public Instruction, Tom Horn, has yet another take.
Why do you think some districts have such low scores?
They don't know what to do in teaching and in leadership. Economics is not a barrier to academic proficiency, and we're doing everything we can to help the schools improve the teaching so we can get the proficiency rates up.
Like his department sending teams to help with training at some of the lowest scoring schools.
And I feel for teachers. They're overworked, they're underpaid. Sometimes it's easier to just pass kids through.
Whatever the reason, parents like Nicole expect more.
I feel like sometimes the kids get left out a little bit, or there's no accountability because the teachers can't monitor all of those students.
Obviously, there are a lot of schools of thought when it comes to impacts and what impacts these test scores and why, but there are also different thoughts on what will help. Tomorrow, the I-Team will have a look at what the state is doing to improve test scores and whether that matters. In the studio tonight, Erica Stapleton, 12 News.
All right, Erica, thanks.